What's up, guys? I wanted to make a quick video talking about like my beliefs and why I think Gibson is failing. Um, and I want to make it clear, I don't hate I don't hate Gibson players or owners. My dad is a Gibson person. He has a Gibson custom shop, and he has a what is it called? Hold on, I'll bring it in here. Here it is. Gibson, really beautiful one. Gibson Traditional 2016. It's a nice guitar. I think exactly 9 pounds. And it's not that bad at all. Like, it plays well. I actually love those pickups in there, but I just hate Gibson. And the reason why I think a lot of other people do is because the main reason is that they just are so out of focus with society and the market and cultural norms. They just seem so like it's not part it's part mild part of it is because they're just so boomer-ish of a brand, like the way they market. But that's the problem. It's their marketing, and it's like they seem so they've forever been just that brands that will market as if they're like they what's it called, the play authentic. They'll go to Mark Agnesi, that shill piece of garbage. He was paid by Gibson to go to these rich people's places and just interview them, and so they can show off their Gibson $100,000 collections. It's like nobody can relate to that, and it just seems so cunty, honestly. It's just such a it's just so out of touch. That's like the one reason I think why Gibson is so stupid nowadays. And I don't hate Gibson players. If you love Gibson, good on you, bro. But it's just Gibson. The second thing that's wrong with them is the freaking ego problem. They are so egomaniacal about themselves. And also, I don't want to forget this point. Another point is that I did a couple Google searches, and when they were made in Kalamazoo, they were a union-based brand. All their employees were unionized. Nowadays, so like they were paid well, all that stuff, you know. Nowadays, they're not paid well. Gibson USA is barely paid well. They're paid minimum wage. And they're not unionized. They moved out from Kalamazoo to wherever it is again, the Gibson USA, to form. Gibson made an ununionized place, basically. That's pretty bullshit. That is so BS, and that's why I could never support Gibson, because they're just going to continue that monotony. They moved out of Kalamazoo, a unionized factory, to make the current Gibson USA, where they can't unionize. They're an ununionized factory. So whenever I see tours on YouTube, I just think, gosh, everybody does not, like, you will see it. People in those workers do not seem happy. You can just see it. They're just their body language. They can put on a smile, but you can just see right through it. So that is something that I hate so much. Whenever you see a PRS video, PRS tour, it's like, yeah, that they're obviously working, but like you can just see that everyone seems a little bit more, you know, like up, like a little bit more like proud. I don't know how to say it. And I'm not just a PRS show. I have a Tokai. Well, I have a Tokai. This is my Tokai. This thing is amazing. Absolutely amazing. 2006 made. It's 8.6 pounds. And it's just absolutely. The neck feels like if a Les Paul Jr. was just a slightly bit thicker, but it's just absolutely just wow. This thing is amazing. I love this guitar. Can I get a thumbnail? But yeah, I don't hate the Gibson. I don't hate Gibson. My dad has a custom shop. I hate Gibson. I don't hate Gibson players. This is an incredible guitar. This is a Gibson traditional. I love this color. I love this color so much. My dad bought this because it was his old music teachers, and he's like an absolutely incredible guitarist. And this thing is just really nice. I love the pickups in this as well. I really love that thing. Has Seymour Duncans, and those have like this very fluty focused mids. These have like a more open full range that's just like so much growl and so much it's hard to explain it, like metally, not metal as in like metal music, but like just this metal, like full big crunchy bitey sound. It's just, I'm just like, wow, I like these pickups, holy crap. But anyways, I'm getting off topic. But the thing is though, people don't like Gibson nowadays, I think, is because they are just so out of touch. They're completely out of touch. All that they focus on is they talk about themselves. They have such an ego problem. They always are talking about themselves. They do these tours about rich people's collections, which nobody can relate to, and it just seems so out of touch, and so it's like a very boomery sort of way of marketing. That's like super old ways of marketing. Like I think like a lot of watch brands a longer time ago, probably like 1900, like the 90s and like the 2000s, Rolex would have been like that type of marketing strategy where it's like, buy one of our watches, you can be like that like very rich person-y sort of marketing, if that makes any sense. But Gibson they're always talking, they're very egomaniacal about themselves. This isn't, and it's not very well known, but they don't have a union. Their Gibson USA is not unionized, which that's pretty BS. They are paid basically minimum wage, and so a lot of the hate that Gibson USA gets, on top of that, that's so messed up, I think. And also, so they, and also like a lot of the antitrust things that they just keep getting hit with. They're just so messed up as a brand, I think. Like, they also, I don't know. I keep losing focus, losing track because I have ADHD. But yeah, there's just so many things that they do wrong, you know? So many things that they do wrong instead of just focusing on guitars, you know? They want to be a lifestyle brand, and also, oh yeah, I hate the new CEO, because when, for example, the new CEO was the guy who worked for Levi's, right? Which he's the guy who turned Levi's into a lifestyle brand, makes everything in China, and just pushes out so much influencer marketing. So a bunch of these billionaires, like big pop culture people, or whatever, if you can call it that, like online influential marketing. That's what that person did. That CEO did a bunch with Levi's, but just made everything all in China. Just the stupid lifestyle branding stuff. So it's like, who was not expecting him to do the same thing to Levi? Do the same thing to Gibson, right? So it's like, come on. I don't know. It's just the same thing is happening to Gibson. He's trying to do the same thing with Gibson. And when he joined Gibson in 2019, he talked that same sort of like, we're coming back, Gibson's coming back, we're gonna rewrite rock, we're gonna rewrite the history books of, we're gonna like be the brands that built rock, like sort of like just so much like ego, just the ego. They're so full of themselves, even though rock was first written on a Telecaster, so it's like, can you frick off? rock was started on a Telecaster. Let's be real here. But anyways, there's just so much like, and that's why I personally, and I think the reason why they're just not popular. They don't connect with people. Like when people hear about Gibson, people like word of mouth about Gibson, like the psychology of what, like how it reaches people, like what reaches people is that it doesn't connect with people. That lifestyle does not connect with people, and that's why Gibson is just not popular. Gibson just doesn't make it to people with that sort of marketing. The reason why PRS, and I'll just show off one of my PRSs. I have a CE24, but this is like my number one. This is my favorite PRS of all time. I think it's the best model that they've ever made, and it's a DC3. This thing is absolutely perfection. The reason why PRS makes it is they don't talk themselves up. They talk about everything that makes a guitar, just and how to build it, just everything about build quality. That's what makes PRS popular. And they talk about the features of each one of their select guitar models and how you as a player might connect with it and whatever model that they make. PRS tailor makes certain models for certain players, and they're so open about that. And I just lost focus because of my fish, sorry. They tailor make guitars for certain players, and they're very open about that, in which models might suit certain players. They're so open about that, and that's why PRS wins nowadays. Yes, they are expensive, but they're as cringe as it sounds. you're sort of buying into that PRS family. They're just such a level-headed brand that you feel like you're connecting with that guitar as well when you buy a PRS. I have a lot of hate for Fender, but Fender has been doing a really good thing as well. They did the Fender Play. They're making models that they're not doing the ego. They don't have the ego problem, at least, which you're winning right there. Right there, you're winning. But they make they're trying to connect with the sort of the younger audience. That's what they're trying to do, and they're not doing the whole be the heroes of yesteryears, be rock. They're just making guitars. They have a bit of a thing about the whole how do I explain it? They have a thing about their, like, the whole, like, Fender, the history of Fender, but you never really notice it. My biggest gripe, though, about Fender is just too many models. There's too much. There's too much. And there's certain models that I hate, and it's also, like, American-made stuff versus Mexican-made stuff. It's like you're buying from $500 to $1,500. You're still getting the same polyurethane finish, so it's like, what's the point and all that? And especially when you can just go to a Squier Classic 5, so, and that's just the same finish you're getting as well, so it's like, what's the point? I could chill about the Ibanez AZ, but that's a different video. But anyways, Fender is just reaching the younger audience, and that's how they're winning as well. I think that they still have a bit of that ego thing, but not to the point as Gibson does. And that's just about it. Gibson just does not connect with people. The way they market themselves does not connect with people, and the way they carry themselves doesn't connect with people. They're just so up their own butt about their name, and the antitrust, all the lawsuits, all the build quality of their guitars. It's just so much to pile up. And especially, like, I heard a current lawsuit against another guitar just the other day, and some people were, and they were like Explorers that looked absolutely one-for-one, like one-to-one copies of Gibson Explorers, but it's like Gibson's history precedes themselves. They're such a up their own but about themselves type of brand, an egomaniacal brand, that it's like, I couldn't care less, even if they were actually, like, rightfully defending their designs, actually rightfully, legally defending their designs. It's like, you guys are so cunty, for a lack of a better word. They're just so obnoxious of a brand. But that's about it. I want to hear what you guys think. Do you guys think that Gibson is in a healthy state at all? Do you think that they could continue down, still be financially, do you think that they could still financially be successful in this state? I want to hear all your guys' thoughts and opinions down below if you have reached this far into the video. But anyways, hope you guys have a great day. And just remember as well, I don't hate Gibson. I mean, I hate Gibson. I keep messing up there. I hate Gibson, but not players. If you have a Gibson, good on you. If you still love Gibson, that is on you. And that's okay. If you love Gibson, that's all right. But they have their problems, brand-wise. Not if you have a great guitar, not if you have a great Gibson guitar, but I mean, this guitar right here, this thing is amazing. I don't hate a bad guitar, but I hate nothing more than a brand that takes himself too seriously. But an old person who takes himself too seriously. That's what Gibson is. But have a great day, guys. See ya.